Okay, so now we can actually go on to the drummer instruments. All we have to do is create a new instrument and then choose drummer. We have different genres and output. As this is mainly for electronic music, let's go down to electronic and then hit create. So if you're new to actually the drummer instruments, you have the genre here. Then you have the drummer. We can choose different types of drummers. Let's choose this one again. Then we have the kit. We can choose big room or radiance. We can actually click through here and get a lot more detail for the effects, the different instruments, the different drums. So we can change the mix, which I think is quite interesting. It's quite useful as well. We could choose a different kick, so we can hear the kick if we click on it. So we can add distortion. Add some crust distortion. Okay, so that's one thing you can go through and mess around with. And then we have an XY pad here. So we have loud, complex, soft, and simple. So we can actually just drag this around. This has been recorded by Logic. And some of the other genres have actually been recorded with real life drummers. Of course, the electronic one is all synths and samples. Then we can add percussion here. We can have different rhythms, different patterns. And then we have a follow feature here, which I find really interesting. So we're going to get this to follow the deep house kit. So it's going to follow the Ultrabeat drums that we looked at previously. We can add more fills. We can actually swing this as well. One of the main reasons I actually want to do this is to have this drummer follow the deep house kit, follow our Ultrabeat drums. And so we can add some more patterns on top of it. So we're actually going to delete some of the kicks and the snares and just use this more for effects. So let's add on a shaker. Let's turn off the kick, turn off the snare. Let's just play this. So we can go through here and actually lights up which ones are being played. So we can go through and change some of these effects now. Add some noise. I'm going to turn off that noise, as I don't really think it works. I like this clap though. You can always go back and change the pitch later on. So I'm not actually too sure what the pitch of the track's going to be now. We can change the pan. Notice if you're wearing headphones or using monitors, it's going into different speakers. Siren. That's not being triggered right now. You can add swing as well. That sounds quite cool. You can hear the space in between the hits now. You can actually go back to Ultrabeat and add swing to this as well, which I find quite interesting. Let's just go back to this. Okay, these really complement each other now. I'm going to delete the second one. Let's hear them together. And what we can do now is actually go into drummer and we can actually drag this onto a MIDI track so we have more customization. So I'm going to play around with this a bit more and move it down to soft and complex. Okay, and now I'm going to hit this plus button here, create new software instruments. Okay, and then we're going to go to drum kits and choose one of these here. Let's try Electro Bump. Let's hear this. You notice it's changed to MIDI information. I don't really like this kit though, so let's change it to another one. Okay, now you can go and edit this MIDI information. Let's just zoom in here. If you zoom in further, it actually tells us the names of some of these drums on the side, which is very useful. So it's this low one that I don't really like the sound of. I believe it's up here. It's 808 bass. The bass part is going to be something separate. So let's just drag this to conga. So let's get rid of this. This low conga doesn't really work either. Mid conga. And now we can actually go in and drag some of this information around. Actually make this loop a bit shorter. I do think it's too long personally. Okay, nice. And then just use this loop function here. Now we've just kind of complemented the Ultrabeat with this drummer. Of course, you can use drummer to create your own beats from scratch, but I do think this method of actually using Ultrabeat with drummer will create a lot more customizable beats. If you're just using drummer, sometimes it isn't as flexible as using Ultrabeat. And I like to use drummer just to sit on top because one of my favorite features of drummer is the actual follow feature. So let's just have a listen to this now. And now they've both been converted into MIDI information. You can go into either of these and actually just change the information around. You could even have a section where it's just this deep house kit, just the Ultrabeat, and then this boutique 808 or the drum kit that was originally the drummer comes in later on. So this is great for arrangement too. So when we start to look at arrangement, you can just add separate sections in, because you don't really want it to be the same all the way through. Even with a lot of dance music, it is repetitive, but it's all about layers. It's all about arrangement. So we can just drag stuff over, hold down Alt, and then just create new sections. You can always color this slightly different. So if we hit Alt and C, we can bring up this color board. And I'm actually going to go into this and change some stuff around. So let's get rid of the color board. And this one, I'm going to move all these claps to a low tom. This might sound a bit crazy, but let's hear. So it's just something different really. Let's try it up to a high tom. Okay, so now we have a few different sections just from Ultrabeat and from drummer. So always remember to save your projects. Let's have a quick listen to this. And so this is basically our drum part that we created with the drummer. And the other section. Always go in and change stuff around and customize different parts. So that's basically it. That's how you can create a beat in Logic Pro 10 with Ultrabeat and drummer.